guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and yeah, looks like if you couldn't recall right but now, it is officially the weekend of Halloween right about now, so yeah, looks like we're finally approaching that time of year again, and yeah, pretty much ever since my last video that I did, where I did a fine job carving that pumpkin and making it into a nice jack-o'-lantern, I think it's quite fitting that I should do something Halloween related once again. Of course, these thoughts videos for sure. And thankfully, I am doing it just about 2 to 3 days much earlier than the last few years for sure, because yeah, I already have about 2 video projects that I want to get done as quickly as possible just before this time of year for sure. So yeah, those will be out very soon in case a lot of you guys may be wondering. But yeah, I guess in the meantime, I think it's quite fitting that pretty much until that happens, I will of course give all of you guys my latest thoughts on a brand new movie that I had the privilege to actually watch very recently. And of course, in this case, we're going to be diving back into, of course, streaming services once again. And thankfully, we do have the kind people over at Netflix to help us out, of course, this one. So yeah, probably been a long while since I've actually dived into anything related to Netflix for sure. So yeah, I guess I kind of figure for today's thoughts video, that's exactly what I'm going to be going for right now. And believe it or not, this movie I'm going to be talking about is not only the latest stop-motion animated feature film that just came out, but it seeked out a return of a well-known director who has actually done some really good stop-motion films over the past few years. I am totally not joking on that one, and yeah, I guess if you made the lucky guess on, of course, this one, good for you, man. So yeah, but in case you actually are quite curious to see what I'm going to be talking about for sure, today's movie, we're going to be diving into, of course, Netflix's latest animated feature film that just dropped very recently, which is none other than Wendell and Wild. So yeah, this is of course the latest film that had just landed on Netflix very recently, and yeah, seeing how we are approaching Halloween right about now, I think it's quite fitting that I would actually talk about this movie just for this time of year. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say on that. Alright. Alright, so yeah, before I can go right ahead and talk about today's movie, I think it's actually quite fitting that I should pretty much, well, talk about pretty much its history for sure. Yeah, in fact, for starters, I think I didn't know anything about Wendell and Wild for sure, but from what I actually heard, it is of course based on, of course, an unpublished book by the same name for sure. And I said unpublished entirely because if anything, the book never actually got an official release for sure, which, yeah, is actually quite odd to me, because usually with movies based on books, usually the book will, of course, be published in its entirety, but for this movie to be based on a book that is unpublished, that's almost unheard of as we speak for sure. So yeah, I guess I didn't actually expect that for sure when I actually got into, of course, this movie. However, believe it or not, this is, of course, one project that is, of course, done by a well-known director over the years that we haven't actually seen or heard much from for a long time now, but you may recognize a good number of his stop-motion films over the years. So yeah, and just got a little itch on my back. Sorry about that, folks. But yeah, I guess if anything, the person I'm actually talking about, who's helmed this project for quite a long time now, I think you pretty much may or may not have heard of the name Henry Selick. Yeah, I'm not king, of course, this one. So yeah, I guess for the case of this movie, seeing how it did land on Netflix very recently, it is, of course, the latest animated feature film from, of course, a well-known director, Henry Selick. And if that name rings a bell, then you might recognize his movies for sure, most notably when he pretty much took directing duties while pretty much a well-known filmmaker Tim Burton helmed as producer for one of the greatest stop-motion animated feature films for a long time now, The Nightmare Before Christmas. So yeah, I think if anything, you would pretty much know Henry Selick from, of course, that Sega film for sure, which is actually saying a whole lot given to, of course, several other projects that he's done over the years. And I guess for the case of this movie right up and now, this is, of course, the very first feature film that Henry Selick has actually directed in a long time, since the last film he directed for well over a decade now, which is, of course, Coraline back in 2009. So yeah, practically it's probably been a long time since that said film came out that we've actually seen a movie directed by Henry Selick. So yeah, I guess if anything, from what I've actually heard, this is pretty much sounds like a massive comeback for that said director that we haven't actually heard from for a long time now. So yeah, I guess if anything, I mean, I did recall some time ago, I actually really do love Nightmare Before Christmas for sure, and not to mention, I really love what he's done with Coraline for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think it has been a while since I've actually seen his other films, like, of course, pretty much if anything, it's been a while since I've seen James and the Giant Peach, which he also directed for sure, and yeah, I don't need to say anything about it. I'm actually really grateful I haven't checked out Monkey Bone just yet, so yeah, the less sick about the laggard, the better, so yeah, I guess if anything, I've actually decided to, of course, go into, of course, this film because it did kind of pique my curiosity a bit, and I was actually quite curious to see on how it'll go for sure, and yeah, I mean, I guess it's pretty much all I can say on that, because yeah, this movie actually did pique my curiosity for sure, and I'm quite curious to see on how it'll go for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, pretty much right around earlier tonight, I've actually decided to fire up Netflix and actually watch this movie for myself, and well, I just finished up watching it all the way through, and I guess the only question remains, what do I think of this movie now that I got the chance to actually watch it? Well, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people are saying that this film is, of course, the massive comeback for Henry Selick, and yeah, truth be told, I actually do believe it, and this is not only a pretty much a well-needed comeback, it is a really good comeback for sure. So yeah, I don't necessarily think this movie is great by all means, but for what it is, I do think it's actually a massively solid movie all the way, and truly a return to a really well-known stop-motion animated film director in quite a long time now. So yeah, far from perfect all the way, but I say Wendell and Wild is, of course, a really, really good movie for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say on that. Alright, so yeah, now that I've actually got the short version out of the way, I think I might as well go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about with, of course, this film. First of all is, of course, the story for of course, this film, and yeah, I mean, I know that's saying a whole lot given for the fact that, like I said, it is based on the unpublished book by the same name that Selick himself has actually worked on for sure, but from what I'm actually seeing for, of course, this film, I actually do think the story they crafted for this movie is actually a really fine one for sure. Sure, I mean, it is one of those stories where, of course, our main lead is having a hard time fitting in and coming to, having a hard time coming into grips after, of course, after her family's massive tragedy for sure. Yeah, it's one of those stories, but but I guess if anything, what they've actually crafted for, of course, this story for, of course, this movie is actually a really fine one, in my opinion, and I think they really did give it all they've got for sure. Everything from what I've actually seen, sure, I mean, there are some moments where I think I pretty much had a hard time following through, if anything, but if anything, I actually did get myself fully into a full grasp with, of course, the story for this movie entirely, and from what it is, I actually do think they structured out this story very well, in my opinion, which actually makes it pretty much not only incredible to watch, but also be something rather different from, of course, similar movies that has those kind of storylines for sure. And that's the one thing Henry Selick actually does best. Actually take something we're already familiar with other films, but actually add a new twist to it, which, yeah, I say this film really did a fine job in, of course, crafting that story for sure. They really did a fine job with, of course, this one. And not only that, the writing, I have to say, they really did pretty much hit all the bullet points all the way. And the way the movie is, of course, written out through its really nice screenplay, it really does a fine job with, of course, what it's actually doing. And not only that, I also do love for the fact that they also throw in a little bit of a creepiness factor into, of course, its towing atmosphere for sure. So just by seeing it alone, it isn't actually one-dimensional or even something too noticeable. No, it actually lands the bullet points very well and actually gives off something rather creepy, but also pretty interesting at the same time. So yeah, those are what I can say for, of course, those aspects that I can list right about now. Sure, they are pretty much stuff that we've actually seen before, but the way they've actually showed off a new twist to, of course, all of them actually makes them all the more engaging for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say on that. Alright. Alright, so now that I've got those out of the way, I think I might as well go ahead and talk about the next couple of things that I should talk about for, of course, this film. Yeah, which are, of course, the characters, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I actually do think the characters in, of course, this film for sure, yeah, again, I do think they're actually really good. Not great in my opinion, but I do think they are actually good all the way. Everything from what I've actually seen for sure, it really does a fine job with, of course, what they're doing for sure, which actually makes them all the more likable and interesting for sure. There's no real bad guy they've actually thrown into it. Well, okay, maybe one or two antagonists for sure, but never a full bad guy all the way. I actually really do think they did a fine job with, of course, these characters all the way, and plus, not only making them incredibly likable and interesting, but I also really do love the way they actually give them a really good sense of development for sure. So yeah, with everything I've actually seen for sure, I do get myself fully amidst to, of course, these characters, and I do find myself rooting for them all the way, which, yeah, again, it actually does make the experience a whole lot more fun for sure. I really do think they did a fine job with, of course, what they've accomplished for, of course, this film for sure. So yeah, those are, of course, what I can say for the characters in its entirety. But, of course, all the actors they brought on board for, of course, to play all these characters, my God, they really got some really good names for, of course, this one, and they really did give out some really good performances all the way, and yeah, with what I've actually seen for sure, I do find myself getting fully investing on, of course, what they're in for all the way, and the way they've actually delivered their performances, I actually do find myself getting into midst with, of course, these characters, and plus their acting style and, of course, their voices actually do match their characters perfectly. Like, of course, for example, is, of course, pretty much our main heroine, Kat, played, of course, by Lyric Ross, and yeah, pretty much from what I'm actually seeing, Lyric Ross actually gives out a really fine performance as Kat for sure. With everything I've actually seen, she really does give it everything she's got, and actually making her character actually work for sure, because, yeah, it is actually really tough to go through a situation that Kat did throughout the entire movie, trying her best to pretty much be her own individual person, while pretty much trying her best to cope after the loss of her parents, but not really trying to for sure. So yeah, just by seeing them all the pretty much just by seeing Kat throughout the course of this movie, I actually do see myself getting into grips with, of course, her, and like I said, Lyric Ross actually does give out a good performance all the way, and that's actually the one thing I do like about Kat, of course, this film. She actually does go through a really interesting arc throughout the entirety of the movie, which is actually something I actually really do like, and this movie really did a fine job in doing exactly that. But, of course, seeing how this film is entitled Wendell and Wild, I think I might as well pretty much mention the two title characters for sure, which are, of course, well, Wendell and Wild, which are, of course, played, of course, by Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele. So yeah, I guess if anything, pretty much, there's no big surprise that Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele have actually been in several projects for sure, particularly their TV show, Key and Peele, and yeah, with, of course, what I'm actually seeing in those two right but now, I actually find myself really investing all the way. I think they both pulled off some really great performances all the way, and I actually do get a good sense of course, what they're up to and how they're going to accomplish their goal for sure. So yeah, it's not really much compared to, of course, what we've seen with Kat, but I do think Wendell and Wild actually do have a good sense and yeah, pretty much a good sense of development and character thrown into it, and yeah, like I said, they both go through some really nice arcs throughout the entirety of this movie for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, whenever I actually do see these two on screen, I do find myself having a ball with them. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much what I can say for both the characters and the actors in, of course, this movie. So yeah, not really much, but it's pretty much what I can say. Alright, so yeah, now that I've actually got those two out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Well, quite a whole lot, actually. I guess seeing how pretty much this is a stop-motion animated feature film, I think I might as well mention the animation of course, this film, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I do think the animation in this movie is actually really well done for sure. Everything from, of course, the way the characters move to, of course, the incredible backgrounds and some really nice imagery all the way. I think they really did an incredible job with, of course, the animation for sure. It actually does pretty much represent how I would imagine for, of course, a Henry Selick movie for sure, and I say they really did deliver on, of course, what it's actually done. This is actually probably the best use of stop-motion animation I've actually seen by far. Well, until Guillermo del Toro's take on Pinocchio comes around very soon, but trust me, I'll get to that once it actually comes out for sure. So yeah, anyways, back on subject. So yeah, I guess the animation, of course, this film, my God, it is really well done. I really loved how well it actually turned out for sure. And yeah, like I said, pretty much when I actually mentioned the towing atmosphere earlier in this movie, I really do love the way they actually mix that in with, of course, the animation for sure. Not only making all the more incredible and, of course, really interesting to look at on a more visual standpoint, but the way they've actually played out the creepiness factor, and it actually is actually really breathtaking to watch, and just by seeing them all alone, it actually does give me a really good sense of chills for sure, because of how creative each and every one of them actually turned out for sure. So yeah, I guess it's what I can say for, of course, all that for sure. It is really well done. So yeah, and of course, the direction of course this film, to which, yeah, pretty much of anything, I think, if anything, Henry Selick has actually done a whole lot of good stuff when, of course, directing his feature films for sure, and it's actually no exception for, of course, this film entirely. Henry Selick has actually gave out some really good direction in, of course, this film, and he actually does know what he's doing in giving this film a pretty much dark and weird aspect for, of course, this one, and I say he really did deliver a really incredible job in, of course, doing exactly that. He really shined through all the way directing this film, and it is brilliant to watch for sure. So yeah, and not only that, I also do find that I really do love the good mixing with, of course, the film's soundtrack for sure. Everything from, of course, what I've actually heard in terms of music, it actually does flow out pretty well, and I really do admire on, of course, how well it actually fits in well to, of course, the film's plot and storyline for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, that's actually the one thing I really do admire for sure. And not only that, I love on some really nice cinematography for sure, as the camera shots are done very well to go alongside the animation. And I do love on how well cut up and perfectly timed the film's editing is for sure, which actually makes it all the more engaging. But, of course, the most important thing that I can say is that it really does deliver on, of course, the massive comeback for Henry Selick, which actually makes it not really great, but still pretty fun regardless. So yeah, I guess if anything, those are pretty much what I can say for, of course, this one. It really does prove, of course, what I'm actually talking about. So yeah. Alright. Alright, so I guess with all that said and done, that actually does show on how much I actually really do like this movie. However, I think my one complaint that I actually do have with, of course, this film is that, honestly, I will admit, probably the main antagonist in, of course, this film, for while not awful by all means, it's pretty much your typical run-of-the-mill bad guys you have seen in other films, of course, trying to take away something everybody loves and actually puts in something that not a lot of people are actually on for, and not to mention absolutely hate for sure before they can actually get it going, which, yeah, it is actually one of those type of tropes you've seen in other movies before, and I guess if anything, the main antagonist, of course, this film, I just don't see myself getting fully invested all the way, and when I actually see them pretty much conducting their evil plot, I think my mind is like, no, I don't care. I mean, we've actually seen a whole bunch of demons and stuff, and all that other stuff, and a bunch of other bull crap that we've already got ourselves fully investigated. Why would we care? So yeah, we definitely know they're the main antagonist. We know their plans are gonna fail, and we do know they're gonna receive their comeuppance for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, maybe if they would have actually thrown a little something engaging to them, so that way I can be fully invested on their evil plan for sure, that would have made them all the more interesting for sure. But from what I've actually seen, yeah, turns out I'm not really fully immense on, of course, the main antagonist for sure, and I just find them absolutely boring to watch. So yeah, but regardless on that, everything else in this movie actually does work fine, and it really does deliver on what it needs to deliver for sure. So yeah, I guess overall, Wendell and Wild, for while I don't necessarily think it's actually a great film by all means, it is a really, really good stop-motion animated film that I've actually seen in quite a long time now, and yeah, and I guess if anything, it really does deliver on the massive comeback to Henry Selick for sure. So yeah, everything from what I've actually seen by far, it does come close to being perfect all the way, but I say it really does a fine job, and of course doing what it needs to do, and I find myself getting fully invested on, of course, what's going on for sure, which actually makes this film not perfect, but still a pretty good one nonetheless for sure. So yeah. I guess if anything, regardless of course, what I have to say, I still highly recommend this film all the way. So yeah, if you are quite curious to actually see it for yourself, then by all means, go ahead and do so. It's currently available on Netflix as we speak, and let me say right now, I say this is a really, really perfect movie to actually put on at this time of year for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for, of course, that one. So yeah, for my final score, yeah, I'll definitely be nice on this one, and I'll give it an 8 out of 10 as my final score. Like I said, I don't necessarily think it's actually great, let alone actually comes close to being a perfect movie all the way, but I still think it is a really good and yet really fun watch all the way that really does give you not necessarily a creepiness shoveled into you, but still gives you goosebumps and shivers nonetheless. So yeah. I guess that's pretty much what I can say for, of course, this one. So yeah, I guess if anything, pretty much, yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can say on that. So what else can I say except, well, yeah, pretty much unleash your inner demons and, of course, see this movie for yourself. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say on that. Alrighty. Alright, so I guess on that thought, that'll pretty much do exactly that. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and let me know in the comment section below if you have seen Wendell and Wild and what you thought about it, as well as, of course, leaving me constructive criticism and or advice on how I can improve my videos in the near future. And of course, as always, feel free to send me an email if you want to ask me any questions, or if you just want to book me for a con or event that'll be coming up sometime in the near future. Follow me on my social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and plenty other social media sites that I have provided if you want to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos as normal, with, of course, the links down in the description box below. And, of course, support me on Patreon if you want to see sneak peeks to videos that I got coming up in the near future, as well as some other awesome rewards that will help fit into your budget. And if you enjoyed today's video, then give it a massive thumbs up, as it really does help this channel out. And speaking of on my channel, feel free to subscribe and turn on the notification bell and select all notifications if you want to see more videos like this coming up in the near future. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and yeah, now if you excuse me, seeing of how this is pretty much getting close to Halloween right about now. Time for me to, of course, get out my closet and, of course, whip out one of my cosplay costumes and, well, go to some Halloween parties in costume for sure. So yeah. And not to mention, my 2 videos that I've got coming up right around on Halloween will be coming up very soon. So definitely be on the lookout for that. So for now, I've got some Halloween parties to attend to, so I might as well go digging into my closet to pick out a nice costume. So yeah, I guess on that thought, take care, everybody.